What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Crib Podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lynn, and join with me tonight for episode 2. I'm really excited for you guys to see this guy. It is my friend, my day one. When I say day one, I mean day one. This like we met in middle school. Frank Silva Jr. How's it going, buddy?
Hello, guys. How you doing?
How's it going, man? He's got the whole thing all ready to go, and
yeah.
Hope you guys are having a great weekend. This will be out Saturday morning. Good morning.
This will be like a month of quarantine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
This will mark 5 weeks. 5 weeks. Frank, how what have you been doing to pass the time? That's a question I ask all my guests.
A lot of homework, actually. I've had like 5 essays due.
5 essays.
It's been like crazy, yeah.
5 essays.
And then I play basketball in the backyard.
Yeah.
Hang out with my brother.
You know what's funny is that I've actually had a pretty bad week with school myself. So yesterday, I was on my Zoom class and I didn't know my mic was on. And this kid was talking. I told you about this.
This kid tell me.
Yeah, this kid was just saying some shit, and I just got so annoyed. I didn't sleep good the night before, and then my brother's in the other room like playing video games. I'm like, what the hell is this kid talking about? And then my teacher's like, oh, so Tim, like he's talking about stocks. So how that works is that he does this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I did not know my mic was on. And he's like, yeah, it's all right. And he just started dying. So I felt really bad. And this morning, I was like 10 minutes late to class because I slept in again.
Yeah, that's like me in the morning. I just roll over and grab the computer for each.
Exactly. Join and then go back to sleep. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today I've written up some questions in the red journal for Frank to answer, as tradition on this show. But before we get started here, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, keep those notifications on. I'll put Frank's socials down below so you guys go check that out. And yeah, man, pull up a chair, get a blanket out, pour yourself a nice hot cup of coffee, and we're about to dive in right now. Let's go. All right. So, for those of you that don't know, Frank currently attends the University of Nevada, Reno. And what are you majoring in again?
Right now I'm in pre-business, and I declare major specific next year. So I'm thinking of going into finance with a minor in accounting. Yeah. Potentially.
So business. Yeah.
Business.
So last year, me and my boy here graduated from high school in the summertime. Again, shout out to those guys who won't be able to graduate because of this horrible pandemic. But yeah, I know. But I think the first question is, how was the transition from college life different from, living that high school life for the past 4 years? How has that been different?
It's definitely different when it came to being more independent. I was able to plan my own schedule. And when you go to college away from home, you see that a lot of people, you notice that more people have different morals than you have in your own household. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people leave college and they either decide to keep those morals or they throw them out the window. Mm-hmm. So you see a lot of different personalities, people coming from many different places.
Yeah.
People from Nevada are much different than the Bay Area, I would say. You definitely can tell who's from Vegas right when you meet them within like 10 minutes. Like it's like that. But being more independent, having your own schedule, going how to your dorm whenever you want.
Yeah.
Just planning everything on yourself.
Definitely. I was gonna ask, how, of the student body, are there like a lot of people from the Reno area, the Henderson, Vegas area, or is it a lot of Cali?
So I would say 2 out of 5 people are from Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, and then like 1 out of 10 people are from Reno.
Really?
But there's a lot of kids from California and the Bay Area.
Really?
I met like 3 friends from Colorado.
Really?
Yeah, Colorado, and then there's some friends from San Diego. people coming up from San Diego, and like a lot of people from Sacramento.
So kind of like the West Coast.
Yeah, Sacramento, Tahoe, Reno, Vegas.
Dang.
The main.
You get any East Coasters, or just is it kind of just spread out?
No, I met some exchange students, and they're from like super far places, like
China and shit.
One was from Japan, India, you know.
Ooh, dang.
So,
well, that's cool, definitely. I mean, was there anything different, you know, regarding, you know, your daily routine, whether it be if you were used to going to class in the morning, but yet you have a class later in the day, or did any of that change?
Yeah, I was definitely able to go to the gym more, I felt, with my own schedule. Yeah, with my own schedule, compared to like high school where I had like school, practice, and then it's like I had a game and then I went to bed. So now I have a little more leeway where I could be with my friends and fill my schedule with pretty much what I want.
Would you say that you have more free time now that you had, you know, now that you can take classes, you know, whenever you want?
Yeah, I have more free time for sure. I was able to play 2 intramural sports at one time.
Any championships?
Yes.
Yeah.
Volleyball, we went undefeated the whole season.
Dang. Intramural champs. Intramural champs.
And then basketball, we went to the championship.
Did you get it done?
But we didn't get it done. We actually had to play. I missed that game because
they didn't have you. That's why.
Because it was the same night they announced we were going into quarantine, or we were leaving the school.
Really? So you kind of had to like get your stuff together.
With my friends and play. To me, because that was probably the last time I would see him until who knows when. We don't even know yet.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, I remember the day that I went, or the day when the big announcement came out that we had to go into quarantine. Like I remember exactly what I was doing. Like it's crazy. But like the past 2 weeks, like I couldn't tell you what I ate for breakfast on Monday because I really couldn't like care less. Like I constantly check my phone like, hey, what day is it? Like, oh, is it Wednesday or Friday? I was surprised when I saw it was Thursday today. I'm like, I could have sworn it was like Tuesday or something, but
I actually had to move out today because next week it's snowing there in Reno. So.
Yeah, I remember you told me about that.
The food is something else too.
The food?
Yeah.
How's the food been different? Being away from mom's cooking, I know your mom cooks excellent food. Always welcome me. Yeah, your dad as well. Always welcome me over with open arms. Shout out to to your parents. But how has the food been different? Is it better? Is it worse?
It's worse.
Definitely.
It's worse. Yeah. So we began the freshman year in like so you remember fit from our freshman year? So we have like a whole week of fit.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, and so you pretty much you have like a fit mentor, and he brings you around, or she shows you around the campus, and pretty much like going through a week of college.
Yeah.
But like more intense. For sure. We were up from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Rise and grind.
It doesn't sound that bad until you're in lectures from 7 to 10 p.m.
Oh yeah, so, that's the worst.
And then the food ended up giving us food poisoning.
Really?
I remember I actually woke up the third day in, and I thought I was like dehydrated.
Really?
And I thought, so I drank a Gatorade, and then the first thing it was like, oh, it's coming.
It's coming back.
Straight to the bathroom. And then I was up and going. That was like 6:40.
Come on, man. We didn't raise any lightweights. We didn't raise any lightweights out here.
No. And then up at 7 a.m. to meet with the group.
Yeah. Did you guys stay in like the same group the entire time, or like did you?
Yeah. So we had a set group of 5.
Yeah.
5 people. And I had an amazing group. Like I know some people weren't so fond of their group, but I talked to all of those guys still.
Really?
And one of them I hang out with every day, pretty much. We go to the gym.
That's tight, dude.
Yeah.
Definitely
I'm actually
getting
working it next year.
Yeah.
Potentially. Yeah, I'm gonna be a mentor if the quarantine chills and stuff.
I hope it does.
Nothing's postponed.
It better.
I know.
I don't know what I would do if it didn't, but yeah. So you go to UNR. You're a college student now. You kind of have you had a routine going.
Yeah.
just give us a typical day in the life, you know, without quarantine. Typical day in the life, you know, say a Tuesday. What's your routine
Tuesday
like?
Tuesday is perfect. Because that's the most classic.
Hey, man, we got that connection going, bro.
I know.
We got that brother connection, man.
So Tuesday, I roll out of bed at like 8 a.m. And then make breakfast, and then I leave at 8:30 to go to econ at 9 a.m. and I meet my friend at the bridge.
All right.
And we go econ.
Shout out you and our guys that are on this right now. What's up?
We meet at the bridge because there's a bridge right next to our dorms. So we meet at the bridge, go to econ, and then I go from econ to music class. It's an elective I have to
music.
take.
Should have taken that online.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
I don't know. I kind of like the in-class though.
There you go.
So then I go from music, and then that ends at like 11:30, and I start at econ at 9, and then go straight to music. So at 11:30 I'm done, and then I go get lunch. And then
what's a typical
I go
lunch?
either to the cafeteria or they just open the Habit.
Ooh.
And you get like these meal. What is it called? Like our meal plan, you get like 12 swipes a week, and then you get like food bucks to go use at the restaurants.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
And then so I eat, and then I have class at 1:30, which is meteorology.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Another weird class that even for business, So
I don't know what you're doing taking that.
Lunch. Oh no, lunch meteorology, and then I get dinner. Oh no, I go from meteorology to gym. That's right.
There you go. You can't.
My friend.
No days off. No days off. No days off.
From meteorology to the gym with my friend. And then we go from the gym to dinner.
Yeah.
And then homework maybe. And then I go to sleep.
Around what time is that? 12 o'clock, 1 a.m. What are we talking here? 3?
Yeah, so the gym probably will be done by like 5.
Yeah.
And we get there at like 3. And then we get dinner, and that's done by like 6.
6-ish.
And then I go to bed at like 11 or 10.
That's respectable. That's respectable.
But then sometimes, like...
On the weekends?
Sometimes it hits at 1 a.m. and you're like... Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, but my roommate goes to bed early.
Really?
Like he's kind of like a more independent guy,
really?
I would say he's not sociable, not all the time, but he kind of goes to bed at like 10, 10 or 9.
Would you room with him again?
What were you saying?
Would you room with him again for another year? Would you? You don't have to answer that now, but
well, he's a good guy. Like I would definitely like consider it.
Yeah.
I'm living with Greg.
Very short. What's up, Greg?
A little more social guy. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, it probably has definitely changed. But just a side question here. A lot of, seniors in high school right now are going to be going into college this fall. Any advice to them on, getting into a routine or kind of just, getting into the feels of their 4-year school and not trying to feel overwhelmed?
Yeah, I would definitely be open to new people. You're going to meet a lot of different people, a lot of different sexualities for sure. And you just got to be open to like new people, actually step out of your comfort zone and talk to people.
Yeah.
Something that people kind of stop doing, like I would say after the second month.
Yeah.
Because everybody gets settled in their own group. Even me, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you gotta open up a little more, I would feel like later on in the year. Because like everybody's kind of in their own thing by like November.
I feel like if you
be open.
Yeah, I feel like if you get to know as many people as you can, then say this relationship goes to the next level and you meet their friends and you just keep meeting more people and shit. So it's kind of like a domino effect. Like once you make that effort, you'll be fine, and just being open to new things and stuff. It's kind of like high school,
Yeah,
except
I was friends with someone from the 5th floor. Ended up being friends with like the whole floor at the end of the semester.
Yeah, there you go. Then you just have that little community and you guys are just set and everything. Definitely. Yeah. But yeah, little shit. I don't know what that was, but
who's that? Mike?
that was my sister.
Oh.
Whatever. We're not cutting that out. We don't cut anything out. Anyway, so yeah, definitely great advice, you know, from a college student to an incoming freshman. That's what it's all about. But switching gears here, getting away from the boring stuff is what I call school talk. Get away from the boring stuff. Frank is a Bay Area sports fan, unfortunately. Just kidding. He's been a Bay Area sports fan, specifically a Raiders fan. And being a Raiders fan and a Bay Area fan for so long, now that the Raiders are in Las Vegas, in your college's state, does it change anything about being a Raiders fan?
Well, for me personally, mostly because I'm in Nevada now, for like what? My whole college, for the next 3 years, I'll be in Reno.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really change much.
Yeah.
Especially when you
I didn't even think about that. I was like,
yeah. When you go to Reno, you see a lot of kids from Vegas support their team, the Las Vegas Knights, that hockey team. Excuse me. Everybody supports that one.
Yeah. This is all they got out there. They got no hoops.
Yeah, that's literally it. Everybody has a hat or a jersey.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I'm not really worried about the Raiders. I'm still the same guy. Still the same Raiders fan.
Yeah.
Only thing is they're getting rid of the black hole on the goal line there.
Yeah.
It's kind of, that's the
They're in a nicer stadium. That thing looks like the freaking Death Star. I remember you said.
It's dope.
Yeah.
It's
it was in your quote. You said the Death Star. It legit looks like the Death Star.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a nicer stadium. Obviously a bigger city. But yeah, I still feel like all those Raider fans here, they're gonna continue to support them no matter what. If anything, it's an upgrade from the Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah, we're gonna get all those fans from the LA area. It's only like 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 4.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like the Raiders were a team. I mean, even though their performance on the field has been, you know, iffy the past couple years, I mean, I still feel like they're a team that still has a big market. They're going to be like a Dallas Cowboys or, you know, a Lakers, you know, just one of those iconic franchises that'll put a lot of money in for the NFL. And like, you know, just with them now being in Las Vegas, they're obviously going to draw more income in. They're going to, you know, sell more tickets. Their stadium's obviously bigger, you know, and the Texans are probably going to go for much more because, you know, of the new stadium. So I think it's a win-win for the NFL and Vegas, but it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's a loss for the fans here in Oakland, but I would hope that they would still continue to support their team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. Anyway, after answering that question, would you consider Bay Area sports as elite due to the recent success of, you know, obviously the 49ers making the Super Bowl this past year, the Warriors winning how many championships again? Like 50.
Was it 3?
Bunch of championships past couple years. You know, the Sharks continuously make the playoffs and surprise me, even though I'm not a hockey fan. I just always see that they're in the playoffs.
Yes,
A's and Giants making the playoffs. Giants winning some World Series. And the Raiders making the playoffs like that one year. Would you consider
rare year.
Would you consider Bay Area sports as elite, and tell me why?
It's a good question. I would say they're elite because if you look at any other area in the United States, there's not a culture of a dozen teams that are successful.
Yeah.
You got the Niners that, I hate to say it, they strived in recent years. They went like, 2013 they made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, something like that.
They had like,
took an
I would
L.
say two off years.
Yeah.
After they got rid of Kaepernick, and now they're back.
Yeah, and it's scary.
And it is scary.
Because they just came out of nowhere and their team's freaking sauce.
And then you got the Giants that they have some hardcore fans. And yeah, 2010s. Is that when you guys won the World Series?
2010, 2012, 2014.
Yeah.
I'm still reminiscent about those days, but
during those times, that's all people talk to on the Bay Area.
Doesn't look like we're getting back there anytime soon. Especially with his new coach. He's a freaking idiot, but.
And you got the Sharks. The Sharks are always successful. I see him in the news. I'm not really a hockey guy.
Exactly, yeah.
I see him in the news too.
I remember,
what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I remember Vegas made it their first year.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I'm like, bro, like, well, I thought about it because like,
Sharks.
Yeah, well, like I thought about it because I was like, how the hell's this new team like super good? Well, they were like an expansion team, right? So like, you know, there's an expansion draft, so you can only protect like X amount of players. So they literally just got a bunch of like average players and put them on one team, and then they just won like freaking 60 games or something like that, or 60 matches. 60 matches. I'm sorry, but yeah, man, it's just interesting. But you would consider them elite.
What were you saying?
But you would consider Bay Area sports as elite, right?
Yes. And you got the Warriors. The Warriors have been good.
The Warriors?
They've been on the come up, I would say. Because if you look at like 90s, all we had was Run TMC. Mm-hmm. You go from like 2000s to 2010.
Yeah. And like Steph Curry, everything.
And in 2010, actually 2014, I would say.
Yeah.
When we were with we were rivals against the Clippers and the Spurs. But right when we lost to the Spurs and started rivaling with the Clippers, was when it started. Before we even had Durant.
Yeah. And it's scary. Makes me salty. Makes me sick to my stomach. As you can tell, guys, I'm not a Warriors fan. I'm actually shopping free agency right now for a new team.
I know. I see the OKC shirt.
Contender, but we'll have to make a decision later. But yeah, man, I think I'd agree with you. I mean, even with all the biases aside, Bay Area sports has been elite for a while, and I mean I feel like they could continue the success in the next couple years, decades even, just because the Niners have such a young team, and if they don't choke again, like they should be back in the playoffs. The Warriors are literally about to get the #1 pick by not even trying this year, and everyone being hurt. Everyone's going to be healthy. They're going to probably make it back to the playoffs. I'm sure the Sharks will continue to have success in hockey, and then the A's are obviously they made the playoffs last year. Did they? Yeah, I think they made the playoffs. Yeah, they did make the playoffs last year. The A's, yeah. The A's will make the playoffs. They'll continue to compete, and then what?
I said down the road.
Down the road. Well, make the playoffs. I mean, that's a heck of a lot better than going 20 games below 500 like the freaking Giants. So, and then the Giants will.
You might see the Raiders in the playoffs with this new. They have an extra wild card game.
Oh yeah, that stupid extra wild card spot.
Hey, there you go. We're in.
They were close. No, dude, that's for the Browns. What are you talking about?
No, that's for us. We might have been in it if we had an extra one this year.
Win it?
We might have been in it.
In it.
We might have been in the extra wild card game.
In it.
We were 7-4 for a minute.
Yeah, but.
And then
but then that happened. AB, how'd that turn out? Ooh. Yeah.
Forget about that. He didn't really affect our season that much.
Not really. But yeah, I mean, I think we're all in favor here. Bay Area sports is elite here. First, folks. Shout out you and our guys. You and Nevada sports might be elite for the next couple of years too. But you got 2 teams now, Raiders and Golden Knights. Anything can happen. Anyway, moving away from the sports topic, we're gonna go into a topic that I'm a little unfamiliar in, and that's music. But Frank here, I know Frank here knows his music. Hit him up with the aux. But anyway, this question is, who is your favorite music artist, and how have they changed the game in their respected field?
So who do you think is my favorite?
I think I can name 2 or 3 of them, but I think I know which one it is.
Okay. Yeah. I think everybody knows. Yeah. If they know me. So Drake,
Champagne Poppy,
is the favorite. And he's, he puts a song out, #1. automatic. You sign him on a feature, you're gonna have some press for sure. I think he's changed the game to where people are trying to match his like mentality and intensity when he drops something. And I feel like another artist who's actually had more of an influence in these past 2-3 years, Travis Scott.
Oh yeah.
With the auto tune and everything, you got guys like Lil TJ. Who else? You got Lil TJ, Gunna, Lil Baby. All those guys use the same auto tune.
Yeah, all those guys are literally just feeding off of his energy, I would think.
Yeah. So I think people like Travis, for sure, give a huge influence, and you got like Playboy Cardi coming. Finally, he's got the mumble rap going. So.
Definitely. But yeah, man. Like, I definitely agree with Drake. Just obviously because the hype around him is so real, and like, you know, day in day out he drops bangers, drops, you know, albums with heat. But yeah, even like, you know, connections with sports teams, you know, like he's huge. He's at every Raptor game. You know, he supports the Blue Jays. You know, Travis Scott, you know, I remember him running out of the tunnel in a Texan game, that wild card game. And then, you know, he obviously shows out for James Harden and Russell Westbrook. So, but yeah, I mean, definitely getting like the culture around their music, but at the same time, you know, being there for like their cities and like, you know, their sports teams is also something that gets a lot of attention, you know, and whether it be media and, you know, their, you know, like the stuff in their music, you know, like Travis Scott's past album was Astroworld. I mean, Astros are a team in Houston, so it kind of plays, you know, with, you know, the hometown name, and I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. I think those guys have a huge influence on the music industry right now.
Yeah.
And I think Juice WRLD too he's had a great influence with his passing, you know.
Yeah. Would you say that Drake is probably has changed the game the most for the entire hip hop, R&B, rap game?
That's a good question. I would say not for the rap part, but the R&B part.
Really?
For sure.
Yeah.
I think for rap, that would go to like Kendrick, J. Cole, or Lil Wayne.
Oh. I didn't know what the categories were. See, I'm telling you guys, this guy knows his stuff. He loves music, man. I listen to it. I'm not a freaking weirdo, but I'm not like a huge, like, you know, I don't like follow certain artists. Like, if I think a song's good, I'm gonna just play it, you know. Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, for sure. Drake is R&B. Most people listen to his R&B, I feel like, more than the rap.
Yeah. I definitely think that he has changed his respected field in ways, and he's also like kind of inspired a lot of others, you know. But yeah, man, definitely. And do you have any songs that you want to recommend to some viewers
from Drake?
Yeah. What are a couple of your favorites? Just name some.
From him would be Sooner Than Later on the So Far Gone album.
Oh.
Brand New, I think, is also on So Far Gone. And then you gotta check out Oprah's Bank Account that came out last month. That was Lil Yachty, Drake, and DaBaby. So.
Yeah, man, those first two I haven't even heard of, so I might probably gotta give those a listen after this.
You might cry to them. They're kind of the R&B types. So.
I know you like that type of music, because a lot of the music that I listen to from Drake is like more upbeat. You know, God's Plan, Tootsie Slide, yeah, songs like that. You know, but he also has some really, like, you know, yeah, he's got some in your feelings songs that really make you just want to like go to bed and stuff. But yeah, man, definitely.
He's dropping a song tonight.
Really?
Potentially.
This is Thursday.
Playboy Cardi.
Really? Ooh.
I hope. That's what they're saying, is tonight.
Maybe give that a listen.
I've heard the leaks already.
Really?
He's like stealing. He's like not stealing, but he's like using the same flow as Playboy Cardi.
Ooh. Controversy.
So it'll be interesting.
Alright. Anyway, so going to another question. These are more like personal life questions. Frank has been a fan of, you know, I would say like the primary sports, whether it be football, basketball, I would even say baseball at, you know, playoff A's, man. You're always there, man. I would say, yeah. But coming from someone who was, you know, a primary sport fan, you know, and a basketball player, a basketball fan, was it an adjustment playing volleyball in high school? Because Frank played varsity volleyball in high school for 4 years, 3 years.
Did I play how many years I played basketball for?
No, volleyball.
6 years of basketball. Since like second grade, I played basketball.
What about volleyball? How many years?
4 years.
Yeah. So
I'd say 5 now.
Yeah. So was it an adjustment playing volleyball as opposed to, you know, doing what you used to do, like what you normally do, whether it be basketball, football?
Yeah, for sure. So basketball, I've been playing since second grade, and then I stopped playing organized till like 8th grade after I broke my arm.
Yeah. I was there. I was there for that.
Me and you tried out freshman year, and it didn't really work out. But you know, you learn. And then,
yeah.
So we went from basketball, but that was probably a blessing in disguise because they introduced me to volleyball. Because I heard about it and I was like, just give it a shot.
Where'd you hear about it from?
Well, I remember in middle school. Do you remember middle school Mrs. Backus?
Yeah. Yeah.
You remember her always asking us to play?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it.
I remember you said no, and I said no. and then down the road, freshman year, I was like, you know, I'll try, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know if this is me just being selfish or like thinking about this, but I remember I was like, dude, you should like play volleyball or something.
Maybe.
You remember that? I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I made a superstar or something, but nah. But yeah, definitely.
But no, it's definitely adjustment from not being able to grab the ball. You gotta like set it or hit it.
Spike.
But the footwork was still there.
Yeah.
But you still you pretty much had the shuffling from basketball. Was helpful for when I was blocking.
Yeah.
But then I still had to learn the approach to hitting a ball. There's a whole approach to it.
Yeah.
Left, right. Swing the arms back and jump.
Yeah.
And then pressing over the net without touching the net. All of an adjustment. And I think the biggest difference between playing basketball and volleyball was I would say like the intensity of the community, I guess is what I would say, or the culture.
Really?
Like for basketball, you have like a more serious culture, and I think volleyball is a little more laid back. When it comes to it, you still go hard in practice, but like when it comes to like politics, it's a little less. Yeah,
I definitely hear you on that. I mean, high school sports, I mean, there's just going to be politics in general, and there always is, unfortunately, but yeah, man, definitely, like, I just remember after those freshman tryouts, like, we were both disappointed, obviously, but I'm just glad that you found something that you let you enjoy doing, and that you were good at doing, obviously, because I remember, I remember I showed up to a couple of your games, man, like, you were having fun, you were going off, dude, but, like, even, like, last year, you guys went to, the semifinals or something like that? Your varsity team?
Yeah, we were in the semifinals to go to the championship.
Yeah, and you guys, were doing work out there, so, yeah, I was just glad that, you found something that you were good at, that you love doing, because, that's obviously what life's all about. Finding stuff that you love doing and, excelling in it. And do you think it helped you step out of your comfort zone and help you, get involved?
Yeah, I think I definitely met a lot more people that I probably wouldn't have talked to.
Yeah.
I was involved in coaching kids for the first time ever.
Yeah.
I was coaching kids from kindergarten up to 12th grade.
Really?
At volleyball camps. And I was helping at bingo on the weekends.
Yeah.
Something I probably wouldn't have done either.
Yeah.
And so, cleaning up bingo, helping with bingo, working volleyball camps.
Yeah.
Definitely stepped out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's all about, and even like you said, to start off, meeting new friends and stuff. I remember my senior year, I played football for the first time, and I didn't know what the hell I was going to expect, but I met so many people, met so many, coaches and, parents that were super nice and helpful. And, it definitely helps you, shake off some rust and, kind of just, kick it, have fun, enjoy yourself, but at the same time, like playing a sport, whether it be just practice or lifting weights or, traveling to games and stuff, bus rides, car rides, whatever it may be. Just making bonds, like I said in the last podcast, building bonds with friends and keeping those, for the next, years to come. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I was even had the opportunity of playing volleyball in Hawaii.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you play club volleyball? Or
I did play club volleyball.
Yeah.
And that helped me tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
I remember freshman year, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I played club the following fall. Mm-hmm. And then that sophomore year in the spring, I was JV captain.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely, something that, incoming freshmen, don't know about is playing a sport makes it so much easier to like fit in or meet new people and, make friends and stuff. To be honest, like if I were to do it again, like I might have considered playing football freshman year, even with Coach McCaffrey.
Yeah.
It would have been asked, the conditioning, but I think, I don't know, like just towards like, the mid-season grind, I was kind of thinking about this. I'm like, damn, man, I should have played earlier, like even like just 2 years earlier, like a year earlier. I think I just would have, I would have met more people and like, built, more relationships, but I don't know. I definitely don't regret it. Obviously, I bet you don't regret it at all, but just whether it did work out or didn't, I'm just happy that you found something to do and you were good at it and you had fun doing it. And guys, this guy was a freaking beast. He would literally like smack the shit out of like this guy's serve and like stare at him in the face and just he would Superman him, dude. He was Superman out there, man.
Where we're playing a tournament and this kid is like, I played the middle, which is for like the tallest kid. I'm not that tall compared to other kids.
Yeah.
So there's this one kid and he jumps hella high.
Uh-huh.
And he's hitting the ball from the middle like straight down. And I go to block him when you block, you have to spread your arms out. So your face is open.
Really?
But when you're middle, you're aiming for the corners.
Yeah.
Instead of straight on. But this kid hit it straight on.
Yeah.
And it hit me right in the temple.
Really?
And it bounced off my head to
Back
the other
out.
side of the net, or their side, and I blocked them. It bounced off my head. It was
That's
fun.
sick, dude.
That was probably one of my favorite memories.
Yeah, definitely. Did you have any like defining moments in your volleyball career per se when you found out that this was something you wanted to do, keep doing? I mean, obviously because probably showing up to your first volleyball practice is probably okay, what am I doing here? Do I stay with this? Did you have like any moments like that?
So freshman year, I remember just practicing and trying to figure out what the hell I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember one of the coaches came up to me and was talking about club.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to play anything else in the fall, so I was like, sure, I'll play club.
Yeah.
And then there was we had a tournament, and I didn't play that much at that time because I was still learning everything.
Yeah.
And I was put in against this team. We were playing at this place, and it was like it was like a huge cement building. It was like freezing.
Really?
It was like the weirdest. We were playing in like the middle of nowhere in like a cement building. Like the walls were cement. It was crazy. So I go in, and I think this is the second set, and the ball is like coming over, and I just jump up and hit the ball as hard as I can. And then I before the ball even hits the ground, I turn around and I say, boom, and then I give a little stride walk. You know how I walk.
Yeah, I know that's your style, bro.
And then I do the stride walk back to the sideline as I say boom and stuff, and then the ball lands and everybody's laughing. So it was like I was celebrating before the ball even hit the ground, which is something I was doing for a long time.
That's sick, dude. Yeah, because I remember when I first started playing football, I remember my first padded practice, it was freaking horrible. Like, it was hot, like, I was just tired, I was sore. Oh my god, dude, like, I would literally come home with, like, bruises all over my arm and stuff, and, like, both my thumbs were, like, purple. I had toes that had gotten trampled on, you know, like, my head was hurting because of the helmet, and it was hot. There are definitely times when I was like, dude, should I just quit this, and, you know, should I just, like, lick my wounds and just, you know, not do something else? But, you know, it was definitely hard because, you know, I watch football, but, you know, playing it's different just because, you know, I'm playing with guys that have played since they were, like, you know, 4, you know, like, they got the technique down, you know, they got the footwork down, but yeah, it was definitely something that challenged me and, you know, obviously helped me grow and, you know, he'll get a little bit of adversity, you know, for once, but I think that's what, you know, both of our situations had in common, is that there were new challenges that, you know, whether we excelled in them or not, you know, we ultimately, you know, got something out of it. And I think that's big for anyone that's, you know, thinking if I should do this or thinking if I should do that, or even start a podcast, but, you know, but yeah, definitely. Anyway, so I got one final question for you. I know we're kind of approaching the 40-minute mark, but I have no problem making this a 2-hour podcast, but
that's good.
yeah. All right. So one final question. I remember during high school, I think it was after like our sophomore year, I was, you know, saying goodbye to all my friends and stuff. I see Frank, and I'm like, hey Frank, see ya, have a great summer. I'm like, what are you gonna be doing over the summer? He's like, I actually need like heart surgery or something. I'm like, what? So can you kind of talk to us about that? Because that was kind of a gray area in time between you and me. We didn't really talk that much. You had your heart surgery, or you had some problem. Can you talk about how that, you know, that dealing with something that major, how did that help you learn and grow? And can you kind of tell us what you had done on you?
Yeah, so I had, the condition was called supraventricular tachycardia. Long name.
It's a mouthful.
Or for short, SVT. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
So, 7th grade, I started having heart palpitations. Pretty much the condition is where your heart is speeding randomly. So I could be sitting on the couch and my heart goes above 200 beats per minute.
Really?
Yeah. I think the highest was 220.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like...
So then 7th grade, I started having a problem. Go to the doctor. I have to wear a heart monitor for like a week or 2.
Yeah.
And then they come back to us and they say they can't find anything. And that it's, maybe it's anxiety, they said.
Really?
Which I was like, sure, okay.
Sure, guy.
And then it came back, I would say... Oh, it came back right like spring of our freshman year, I think, because I had surgery after my freshman year. That was the first one.
Yeah.
So
you had 2 of them. I think I remember you saying there were 2, but I knew. Really?
Yeah. So I'll get into that. So the first one, right after first volleyball season, I have the problem again. Because I was actually in Mancuso's class, and I remember wearing I had to wear another heart monitor. And the cool thing about this thing was that I was able to learn or see the evolution of heart monitors from 7th grade to 11th grade. So I'm wearing this thing freshman year with wires up all over my chest, probably like 5 different spots.
Really?
And there would be a button on the side of your waist. When you have the palpitation, you're supposed to click it. The problem is when you're sitting in the desk, your elbow hits the damn thing.
Yeah.
So you could be in the class and tell it quiet.
Yeah.
You hit it, and it goes beep, and it like beeps hella loud. And I remember sitting next to Trevor White in Mancuso's class, and it would go off sometimes, and I'd be like, sorry, that's just my monitor.
Yeah.
So they end up finding what's wrong, and they say it's SVT. And I have my first surgery in July, early July of my after freshman year.
Really?
What year is that? 2015?
Something like that, I think. 2015, 2016. Yeah.
So I have the surgery, 12-hour surgery at UCSF, maybe 13, but it was long. And there's these charges in your heart that send electrical waves, and if there's too many of them, your heart's gonna speed up.
Yeah.
And so all those charges were actually in the back of my heart, which even made it harder to get to.
Damn.
And so when they go in, they don't open up your chest, by the way. They go through your hips.
Oh, they went on the side?
They go through your hips with like they go through your vein arteries, and they put like almost like a noodle. I don't know. Like it goes through your artery to your heart, and they either freeze or burn the electrical charges. And so, the first surgery they froze them, or at least what they thought was it.
Yeah.
So if that goes well, you know, I go through sophomore year.
Yeah.
And then it comes back. I have another monitor put on the following summer, so the summer after sophomore year. And then they find it again, and they say my heart's going like above 200 at times. And then so we plan another surgery in January of 2018, and the surgery is 5 weeks before volleyball tryouts.
Really?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite stories. So, so it's 5 weeks before volleyball tryouts. I'm going into surgery, and this time they know where all these charges are. Yeah. And they burn them this time instead of freezing them. They burn them, so it's all scar tissue. Yeah. And so now, or actually, let's go back for one second. So after the first surgery, recovery took me 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah. I remember I was in a wheelchair before I could go out and walk. I was in a wheelchair because I was so like weak. And so, but this time, my second surgery in January, 5 weeks before tryouts, I have the surgery, same time, 12 hours at UCSF, and then they burn it all, and then now I'm back in bed recovering, but I have tryouts in 4 weeks. So I have these big, they put these big bandages on your legs, so you have to lay in bed for 2 weeks at least.
Really? Like you can't get up and do anything?
No.
Really?
Not really. So you're bedridden for 2 weeks. Excuse me. And then, so I'm bedridden 2 weeks, and I recover in 4 weeks. So I start walking in my 3rd week, and then by the 4th week, I ran a mile.
Really?
Yeah, we had tryouts, and the coach was like, all right, we're doing a mile, but my coach would have said I didn't have to do it.
Really? But you did it anyway?
So I ran the mile, and then after the mile, Cortez comes up to me and he's like, you didn't have to run that. I remember that. And I was like, it was whatever, I'm feeling good now.
I'm a savage, so I'm just a Superman, so.
Yes. So it's 4 weeks recovering versus, so I was pretty much back on the court in like 3 to 4 weeks.
Really?
Because I started in our first varsity preseason game. Really? And then, so versus like, because that first surgery kicked my ass. I was in bed, or I was recovering for almost till school started from like early July. That took forever.
Damn.
And junior year, I was like out in 3 weeks. And my
That's
weight,
crazy.
the big thing, so right now I'm like 178.
Yeah.
After my second surgery, my junior year, I was like 137.
Yeah.
So 40 pounds.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
40 pounds.
40 pounds. I remember being 130, like 137, I think was the exact. And right now I'm 177.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, that's just like a comeback story, bro. 5 weeks.
Yeah, I love that story.
Yeah. Definitely tell that to your children when you grow up.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man, a little bit of science for you kids, but I just remember when you told me that, you know, once school got out, I was like, holy shit, like it's my best friend, he's got some issue or something like that. Because, at the time I didn't really ask you or like, ask for much information about like what was going on.
Yeah.
You just said you had a heart problem, but I just remember, following year, you came back, you were a champ. I don't even think I noticed that other surgery, but
yeah, that was in the heat of everything.
You looked like you were doing fine, moving fine. You were your same normal self. But yeah, man, definitely. I mean, it was a time I was worried as a friend. I'm sure your parents, your friends, your family, all worried about you. But definitely got glad that you're back. But yeah, man, I think it's good that because like Frank, I had surgery this past year. I think a year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this past year.
Yeah,
I think what I would say is, would you say it was something that kind of, because I mean surgery sucks. I mean the recovery time is just terrible.
The recovery's hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you can't do. You're like constrained.
Exactly. Would you say that? I mean, would you say that you kind of learned something through the process of getting this heart issue fixed? I mean, because 2 surgeries, man. Like, is there anything that you learned?
Yeah. So my first surgery, I can't remember much about after, just the long recovery.
Yeah.
But definitely the second surgery, I feel like I learned if you just put your head down and you're like very driven about getting to a certain point.
Yeah.
And you have support from people around you, and you support yourself, you can get anything done.
Well said. I mean, definitely. Doing your PT, as much as it sucks, you got to do it. Not being able to walk or go out and do things you love to do, can't do that. But yeah, it's just all so you can get back to 100%, so you can lay the foundation for the future. But yeah, man, definitely. Anyway, Frank, that is all the questions. We made it to the top, as I do say in Hot Ones. Quick thing before we go, can you leave the viewers with your plugs? What do you got going on in your life right now? I will put his social media right here for you guys. So Frank, what you got going on?
Just follow the gram at Silva Jr. Frank.
Right there. All right, guys. Thank you, Frank, for coming on. Be sure you guys look out for episode 3 of the Crib Podcast next Saturday. Always new on Saturdays at 8 a.m. See you in the next one. Peace.